My gosh, how about a little round of applause for the first responders? You know, while we're sitting cozy in our homes trying to stay out of the way, these men and women are out there helping people who are dealing with spin-outs, pile-ups. Saturday especially was bad because I think a lot of people thought, hey, I can get in a normal Saturday and I'll be in before the snow hits Saturday night. Well, it was horrible on the roads Saturday afternoon. You had that ice piling up. 69 highway ended up getting shut down because of a multi-car pileup. K10 was shut down due to a multi-car pileup. And we're talking 100-plus cars, not like 3, 4, 5. I mean, it was bad, and it was worse on the Kansas side of the state line. And the men and women who are out there, while the rest of us are just hunkered down, are literally saving lives. And we try to give them as much credit as we can on this show, obviously when appropriate, when they're in the news. But especially nights like Saturday. I mean, they've got to get to you, right? Like, they've got cars, too, that aren't operating well in this kind of weather, and they're putting their own lives on the line to help people who are in desperate need and, frankly, in moments of crisis. So the first responders around Kansas City on both sides of our state line, whether it's cops, firefighters, EMS, I mean, put everybody in that grouping, highway patrol, they did an outstanding job. And unfortunately, they'll probably have to do more outstanding work today as we try to get these roads clear as soon as we possibly can. But do not go out on the streets today if you do not have to. Please try to stay home and, just wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be much better. It's going to be cold. It's going to be cold, but it's going to be better. The bad from the weekend, I was going through local media and saying to myself, okay, what are they talking about? Local TV stations, right? See what they've got talking about. All about the weather, of course. Kansas City Star couldn't help itself. So they have to cover the weather at the Kansas City Star, right? So, that's their top story. But when you scroll down on the homepage, the story they really wish they could run today as the main story is the story they've got just, barely down the homepage. Headline: on 4th anniversary of Capitol riot, January 6th defendants hopeful for pardons from Trump. They can't help themselves. Donald Trump just won the Electoral College in a landslide. He just won the popular vote as a Republican for the first time in 20 years. He is going to be certified today by Congress to be the next president of the United States. And the Kansas City Star's headline story here that's not weather-related is this. On the 4th anniversary of Capitol riot, January 6th defendants hopeful for pardons from Trump. They can't help themselves. They can't get away from this. No matter how hard they try, they just are so shameless they can't get away from it. It's such an embarrassment of an operation. And I heard somebody fairly high up at the Star with one of my great fill-in hosts a week or so ago. And I admit I just wanted to bang my head against the wall listening to it, because if you listen to the conversation, it was somebody who doesn't know why their media outlet is in the tank, who doesn't understand what has happened to more traditional media outlets and why nobody trusts their judgment, nobody trusts their reporting, and as a result, less and less people are consuming their product. And this is a great example of exactly that. Do you think that people are waking up around Kansas City today and wanting to talk about the Capitol riot from 4 years ago? Do you think that's really top of mind? It might be in a very small bubble and subset of individuals. Oh, it's the 4th anniversary. I mean, they're treating it like it's freaking September 11th, the way they talk about this day. But you knew they were going to do this, right? It's why I guarantee you, while we've been covering this historic winter storm all morning, and we're going to keep doing that for you here on KCMO, this has got to be a real kick in the groin to National Panhandler Radio across the street. I mean, they probably working on packages on January 6th for months now. And they're like, gosh dang it, Winter Storm Blair is getting in the way of me getting to talk about January 6th. Oh my gosh, what are you doing, Mother Nature? This is the worst. They are not having it. They had their cute little packages and featured pieces prepped for weeks, if not months. And now they've got to probably scrape all of it because this darn weather got in the way of their momentous, historic 4th anniversary of January 6th. It is so sad.
How dare you?
And then the ugly from the weekend. Well, the ugly, I guess I've got to hand it to the Kansas City Chiefs, right? I mean, I know they didn't play anybody, but when you get blown out 38-0, that was ugly. That was embarrassing. Even if it's the backups, that was an embarrassment. And I didn't think they'd win. I will admit, I thought they'd cover the 10.5. So did you, Mark, right? You had them in your parlay as covering the 10.5 with the backups, and that just didn't go well, did it?
No, I had everything else right, I think.
Oh, did you?
But, yeah, the Chiefs covering did not happen.
No, that did not come close to happening.
Close.
No, as Mark said, it was circa 2012. Kansas City Chiefs, Romeo Crennel, the end of that era. That's what it felt like watching that game, especially when it bounced off 3 defenders and resulted in a Broncos touchdown. That was just absolutely hideous. But listen, it's on to the playoffs. They've got the 1 seed. They'll play in 2 weeks, either on Saturday or Sunday, the 18th or the 19th of January. We don't know yet. And then it's full steam ahead for the potential three-peat, which has never been done. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly.